is Radio Manzi News in English.
You are tuned to Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Omuganwa. The headlines. President Paul Kagame has urged leaders to solve citizens' problems swiftly without waiting for presidential citizen outreach visits. The Rwanda Meteorological Agency has announced that from September to December 2022, there are higher chances of decrease in rains compared to previous period last year and before. The Nigerian government has decided to use chemicals to induce rain in response to the drought that has caused a severe food crisis in the country this year. Welcome back. News in detail. President Paul Kagame has urged leaders to solve citizens' problems swiftly without waiting for presidential citizen outreach visits. The head of state made the call today as he visited Nyamagabe district as part of his 4-day citizen outreach visits to southern and western provinces, which began on Thursday. During the visit, President Kagame interacted with thousands of residents at Nyagisenyi Stadium who voiced appreciation for achieved progress and raised concerns on issues affecting them in different areas, including infrastructure. As he delivered remarks, the president urged residents to take part in development activities and drew emphasis on poverty along Jitwe-Kaduha corridor. He stressed that Nyamagabe must have its development aligned with other parts of the country to contribute to national progress collectively. After his speech, citizens were given floor and raised different problems, some of which have remained unsolved for long. The head of state requested leaders to develop a habit of reaching out to citizens to hear their problems and find a solution because some of them are within their capacities. Generally, the president said that a progress has been made, but called for heightened effort to do more through collaboration and complementarity. The head of state also promised action on leaders not responding swiftly to citizens' concerns. President Paul Kagame also issued a rallying call to southern province leaders to adopt a new mindset that will assist in addressing key challenges if the region is to achieve socio-economic transformation for all citizens. The president was addressing a crowd of 800 opinion leaders in Huye district who had come from all the districts that make up the province. In his remarks, the president narrated a story of grasshoppers that are collected and put in a jar or any other container. He said as soon as there are more than two, they start tearing each other apart, despite facing the same fate from the owner. Let us not be grasshoppers, he warned. We have challenges ahead of us. We may tear each other apart or not, but we have challenges we must face. The president said that there is a silver lining. The good thing is that we know what awaits us. If there is a way to confront them. But let us not tear each other apart, those with whom we share the same challenges. The president then challenged the leaders to adopt a new mindset, as well as a new way of thinking. He compared the situation to a revolutionary sentiment of shame. He explained, saying, "Shame is a revolutionary sentiment. When you have shame, you keep assessing yourself, and it triggers a commitment to not do the same mistakes again. There comes a new mindset, a new thinking." In the sideline of the busy citizen outreach to the southern and western province, today President Paul Kagame made a stop in Giji-Gasaka sector to visit a senior citizen who probably one of the oldest citizens in Rwanda. Nyiramandwa, who is 110 years old, for 3 successive occasions managed to sneak into the crowd and to reach President Paul Kagame whenever he was in an outreach to the region. She first met the president during the 2010 electoral campaigns, and a photo of her whispering to the head of state became viral on social media. 7 years later, in 2017 presidential campaigns, when the president was campaigning in the region near the Nyungwe National Park, Nyiramandwa again managed to reach the president because she had a plea to file. In February 2019, the granny again managed to see the president, who was in a visit to Nyamagabe. The MC gave the granny a microphone and she told the president, "May God bless you for sending me 2 cows. I am remaining with one because another one died." When the president asked her whether she was getting milk from the remaining cow, Nyiramandwa responded, "Not really, but I buy milk from the circle that you gave me." She, however, told the president that she buys milk from the direct financial support that is dedicated to the elderly under a social scheme called Ubudehe. The president found it not enough for her to own a cow that does not give her milk. He then said, "I'll send you another cow with milk." On a beautiful Wednesday, that was March 19th, 2019, Nyiramandwa received the cow and she invited a neighbor to milk it. As the monkeypox cases continue to be registered in various countries in the world, Rwanda has launched a preparedness and response plan worth 10 billion Rwandan francs aimed at preventing or responding to the outbreak in case it shows up in the country. Information from the Rwanda Biomedical Center shows that no case has been registered in the country so far. Rwanda's preparedness and response plan is aimed at reducing morbidity and mortality and socio-economic impact attributable to monkeypox through prompt detection and effective management of cases, effective social mobilization, and improved coordination of the control activities. Tarsis Munga, the Minister of State in charge of primary health care, and the country said the country is well prepared because monkeypox is not the first epidemic that the country is confronting. He gave an example of Ebola, which has never been registered in Rwanda despite being reported in the neighboring countries in the past years, and COVID-19, which the country dealt with in an efficient way. A group of Egyptian officials in charge of refugee management and social protection are visiting the Mahama refugee camp in the Kirehe district to study the methods used by Rwanda to help refugees develop and achieve self-reliance. The delegation visited Rwandan institutions and reviewed various projects in education, healthcare, the economy, and social welfare. They are currently touring the camp, speaking with the refugees to learn more about their daily lives and development efforts. Rugerero Vocational Training Center students say that after dropping out of school, they chose to attend the school for vocation courses rather than live on the streets. They say they do not want to become a burden to the government and do not want to miss out on opportunities available through vocational training careers. According to Vital Dinguyeneza, the director of the Vision Jeunesse Nouvelle organization that built the school, they chose to teach technical and vocational courses to help young people become self-reliant, creative entrepreneurs rather than becoming a burden to the government. According to Rwanda TVET board statistics, 31% of students are currently enrolled in TVET schools. However, as part of the National Transformation Strategy 1, the government wants to increase the number to 60% by 2024. The Rwanda Meteorology Agency has announced that from September to December 2022, there are higher chances of decrease in rains compared to previous periods last year and before. The agency said the expected rainfall may lead to extreme weather phenomena such as dry spells in some parts. However, it adds that there are some areas that are likely to face localized flooding, landslides, strong winds, and other extreme weather-related events in some parts of the country. Rainfall ranging between 200 and 300 millimeters is expected in most parts of Eastern Province, over Mayaga region, specifically in many parts of Gisagara and eastern parts of Nyanza, and over parts of Kicukiro, Gasabo and Gicumbi districts bordering Eastern Province. Rainfall ranging from between 300 and 400 millimeters is expected in most parts of Northern Province except in Musanze and northwestern parts of Reda district. It is also likely in Kigali City, Southern Province, except over most parts of Nyamagabe, northern parts of Nyaruguru, most parts of Ngororero, and western parts of Nyabihu district. Rainfall ranging between 400 and 500 milliliters is expected in most parts of Musanze and northwestern parts of Burera district. It is also expected over most western province except parts of Ngororero and southern western parts of Nyabihu districts, where rainfall ranging between 300 and 400 millimeters is expected.
Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
Rwanda Stock Exchange Market Report. The trading session recorded a turnover of 744,946,600 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in 4 deals on the fixed income market and 1,296,000 Rwandan francs from 7,000 shares traded in 2 deals on the equities market. Bank of Kigali closed the counter at 272 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded a turnover of 816,000 Rwandan francs from 3,000 shares traded in 1 deal. Simirwa closed the counter at 120 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded a turnover of 480,000 Rwandan francs from 4,000 shares traded in 1 deal. The rest of the equities counters closed with Bralirwa at 165 Rwandan francs, I&M Bank at 42 Rwandan francs, M10 Rwanda at 177 Rwandan francs, Equity Bank at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchumi Supermarket at 104 Rwandan francs, and RH Buffalo closed the counter at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
The Nigerian government has decided to use chemicals to induce rain in response to the drought that has caused a severe food crisis in the country this year, according to the Meteorological Department. The technology of induced rain involves using an aircraft to introduce chemicals into the clouds, including a mixture of sulfur, sodium, and acetone. The director of the Niger Meteorology Department said it was necessary to act on this problem of drought in order to have many more days of rain and at the same time increase the quantity of the rain. Sudan's Ministry of Justice has rejected claims it impeded investigators from the International Criminal Court over a list of wanted persons by the world body. Instead, the ministry says the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Kagame, had not submitted any request to meet the wanted person on his current tour of the country. The Ministry of Justice, as the main channel of communication, indicated that it received a request in June from the ICC to meet the wanted persons, which was responded to at that time, and the office of the prosecutor acknowledged this. The Sudanese ministry clarified that it had received a number of requests for assistance from the court in the past, and all of them were responded to. Sudanese authorities cooperated with the ICC to achieve justice. The World Health Organization Director General has made an appeal for his embattled home region of Tigray in Ethiopia, saying he has relatives there with whom he cannot communicate or send money due to a government blockade. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, in some of his most personal comments about the region that erupted in violence again on Wednesday after months of calm, lamented his inability to help loved ones among 6 million people trapped in Tigray. 4 people, including 2 children, were killed and 9 wounded today in an Ethiopian airstrike on Mekelle, capital of the rebel region of Tigray, according to an official at the city's main hospital. The bombing in the heart of the region of northern Ethiopia marks a sharp escalation after renewed fighting on Wednesday between government forces and Tigrayan rebels of the Tigray People's Liberation Front on the region's southern border. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.